Hello and good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you are in the world. And today I'm so happy, or should I say I'm really giggly, because this is episode number 8 and we're going to be talking about how to maintain your happiness as an entrepreneur. And with me, look who I've got with me, look at that. Let me just pre-warn you right now, we're going to have lots of giggles, lots of laughs, and lots of happiness on this video today. So I'm going to introduce Jules to you. Now, you don't want to put Jules in a box. However, she is known as guess what? A professional gigologist. Can you believe that? Can you actually believe that? A gigologist. So let me share with you a bit more about Jules. So she's the founder of the Happy Moms Club and Moms Empowerment Coach. She's the director of the Community Interest Company, the Big Happiness Experience, emotional resilience and mindset trainer, and energetic speaker, writer, educational consultant, and general good egg. Jules has appeared on both ITV Good Morning Britain and BBC Midlands Today, and she's done lots of work all over the UK and on BBC Radio, and she's been featured in top magazines such as Psychology's magazines and Woman on Top. Santi, now let's welcome Jules, and I'm just loving those pink glasses, and look, they actually match my top and lipstick.
Of course. Hello, how are you, Petra?
I'm really good, and I'm even more happy to speak to you. I mean, I've known you now for a good several years now, and the reason why I wanted you on this show today, Jules, is because the life of an entrepreneur is it's like this, it's up and down, it's a roller coaster. You know, we set financial goals for ourselves. We want to make a massive impact in the world, but then sometimes even the amount of effort that we put into our businesses, sometimes things don't actually work out, okay? And we can get into a bit of a depression, into a low mood. And I wanted to have you on here because it's so important for entrepreneurs to maintain their happiness, but it's all about how to maintain the happiness and, also to recognize when things aren't going so well in your business, how to not go into that low mood. And so that's what I really want to speak to you about today. So share with us how to do that, Jules. Just how to maintain our happiness.
Well, I think I will, if it's okay with you, I'll take the giggle glasses off, just because I can't see a damn thing with them on. Oh, there you are. I can see you.
Oh, you're blonde as well, like me.
Put those on. Oh, I can see you even better. It is about maintaining, Petra. It's a really good word that you used, and I feel the pain of the fellow entrepreneurs out there having those dips and having those times when you've done so much and the results that you're getting aren't quite what you anticipated.
Yeah.
And it really comes down to self-care, self-worth, self-preservation, and making your decision and your choice to make happiness and self-care and self-maintenance at the top of your priority list and not somewhere down at the bottom. Now, obviously, the people I work with, the women I work with, a lot of them are moms who are mom entrepreneurs who also put their children at the top of that list as well.
Yeah,
so that knocks them down even further. And that was why I really started to work with moms more so. As you know, I've been working in this field for actually 12 years now.
Wow.
I've been working in local authorities, in schools, making a difference there, but it's actually always comes down to the personal connection you have with an individual woman to how we can help them to really get in touch with that happy place inside. And So it's about putting it as a top priority. It's about doing that first. It's about making a choice every day to do things that are going to top you up, because you cannot run a business, run a family, run a home without having a full cup. Because if your cup isn't full, then it's going to run empty, and then running on empty just gets us to a really bad place. So that's what we need to do.
You've said something, and I don't have children, I have a husband. But I can imagine myself. Thanks. I can imagine that I would put my children first. So, and I can imagine so many of our viewers would do that. So why do you say that we should put our self-care and our self-worth first?
It's the oxygen mask scenario. So if you're on a plane and you are a mom or a dad, then what will happen is when they do the brief at the beginning, they'll say when if anything happens, if the plane starts to go down, the first thing you need to do is put your oxygen mask on first.
Yeah.
When you've got your oxygen mask on, you can then breathe, and then you can look after your child. If you're rummaging around trying to sort your little one out and you haven't got your own mask on, then you're not breathing oxygen, and then you're not going to be able to look after your child. So it really does come down to, it's not a selfish thing to look after yourself first. And for any of us, it's about modelling the behaviour that we want other people to have around us as well. So if we are looking after ourselves, and we are showing that it's important to be in touch with us and to look after us and to keep ourselves happy, then other people will follow suit, whether that be your husband, whether that be your children. But especially for moms, it's for them to model that it's okay to go, you know what, I'm just going to go off and have an hour. I'm going to have a walk in the park on my own today, because I need this, and it's good for me, it's good for my soul, it's good for me, for my well-being. And you will have days when you do things on your own, and there's nothing wrong with doing that.
I completely agree. And I work with a lot of women coaches, women entrepreneurs as well. And when we first start working together, I always ask them to write their goals down, and they never ever include themselves in their goal. They might talk about how much money they want to make, or what they want to buy their children, or what they want to surprise their husband with, but they never actually sit down and say, look, this is what I want for me. So I always recommend just take a couple of hours, every Friday, whatever a day is, and give that gift of that day for yourself to do something that you love, that you enjoy. And they do actually feel guilty about that. Why do you think that is?
That word guilt comes up all the time. I actually run a physical group where I run happy moms clubs and get them running in local communities as well, coffee shops, etc. I had a group last week, and that word came up 6 times during the conversation. Now it was a mom who has health problems. Maybe one of the moms has got MS, and she feels guilty that she can't do as many things with her child as an able-bodied mom can, or the entrepreneur who works all the time and is always attached to the phone or the iPad feels guilty that they're not spending time with their children. Guilt is a really, really harmful and toxic emotion.
Wow.
So if we were to know what guilt does to our physical body, we would start to stop feeling so guilty.
What does it do, Jules? What does it do?
In the moment. Well, guilt and resentment and anger, because really they're all in the same sort of level, actually harms your physical body. It harms it in many ways. Firstly, it will actually damage your heart muscle. So the actual feeling of resentment, the feeling of anger, damages your heart wall. It damages your heart muscle. Okay. When you are in fearful situations, when you're fearing the outcome of maybe you're not going to get enough clients this month, it's not going to be as much money coming in as you had initially And laughing is the biggest way to neutralize it. Okay?
Wow.
Just laughing. Now, obviously, I am known as a giggleologist. I am trained professionally as a laughter yoga leader, a teacher trainer.
Oh.
And in that, what we learn from the science behind all of this is that when we laugh, up in, you know, you've got all these things to do to get towards the goal that you've got this week, this month, etc. So this is why I said right at the beginning, it's important to have at the top of your to-do list, but I like to call it a to-be list.
To-be list, I love
to-be
it.
list, yeah, is to actually understand what is it I'm wanting to feel. Because if we break down goals and we break down our passions of why we're doing what we're doing, it always comes down to a feeling. It always comes down to, why do you want to do that? You know, why do you want to change the world? Why do you want to show people how easy it is to do email marketing? Why do I want to connect to people at a heart-based level and show them their joy that's inside them? The reason I do that is because when I do that, I feel connected, I feel light, I feel joyful, I feel blissful, I feel complete, I feel... Can you see how I'm sitting back now, just, you know, okay, how do I feel when I do that for somebody, when that happens for someone who may have just been on a workshop and then they've had this moment and that's connected them to this inner part of themselves that they haven't seen or touched for a while. When I see that, that just lights me up from the inside out.
I can imagine.
And it's that feeling that we want to get. So I say to people, your to-be list should be, you want to feel, today I want to feel this. So if yesterday was a really, really awful day and everything went wrong and you got no internet connection, you couldn't send the emails that you needed to do, you couldn't get through to people, and you just felt like you were battling up against a brick wall all day long, then today maybe is a day not even to try again. Today may be a day to just let it go and just to spend some self-nurture time. Go read a book, not a book about self-development and self-growth. You know, go and find yourself a Mills and Boon, and or go on YouTube and watch fluffy pandas go down slides and things that make you smile, make you feel good inside. Because once you get back to that feeling good, go out for a walk in nature, absorb the energy of the earth and the beauty of nature. When we get back to that, that's our natural self. That's our natural state, and it's our natural state that we need to be in as much as possible. Does that make sense?
It makes so much sense, to the point where my heart just feels all warm and fuzzy, Julie. I'm feeling all warm and fuzzy, like I just need to be surrounded by bunnies right now.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. And it's not, the thing is, and I think I've struggled with this, with the work that I do, and I can, you know, honestly tell you, I've changed my title, what I do, so many times over the years to fit in the boxes of other people's opinions and thoughts and beliefs.
Yes.
And you know, at the end of the day, I know my mission on this earth is to bring joy, to bring happiness, to bring lightness, to bring colour into worlds. And if they see that as fluffy, then that's fine. Yeah,
of course.
But before, I think a few years ago, if I'd have said, you know, if people saw me as fluffy, I'd have judged myself there and go, but they don't see the deepness, they don't see the value, they don't see that underneath the fluffy stuff. There's this deep message. Yeah. And so for me to call myself a happiness coach, people saw it as fluffy and not important. So I changed my tack and I started to talk about, I will help you mess with your stress. And, you know, and that wasn't me. That wasn't my natural state. That wasn't my natural state of being. Yeah. It's about really connecting to your natural state of well-being and the feelings that you want to feel on a daily basis. And feelings are important because feelings of fear and insecurity and humiliation feel bad. They don't feel good, and you won't attract to you what you need to make you feel good from that energy. So to be in a feeling of excitement, enthusiasm, passion, maybe you need to go create some for a little while before you come back to it, then you need to be doing that first.
Thank you so much, Jules. Look, you've actually heard right now how to maintain your happiness by always going back to your absolute natural state.
Yep.
Thank you so much for this, Jules. What I want to ask you right now is, are you ready to roll?
I'm ready to roll. Yay!
Good. So tell us, Jules, what's your favourite book?
My favourite book is called Ask and It Is Given.
Good.
And it is by Esther Hicks, and it is actually a channeled book. So for those of you who are spiritual, it's something that is God-given, and it is my go-to Bible that I go to all the time, and I will just dip into it and see what messages are there for me every day.
What would you say is your weakness as an entrepreneur?
Procrastination, and more procrastination. Yeah, definitely that. My weakness is I am a creator. I love creative energy. I'm always coming up with new ideas. My weakness is that I am not very good at completing the first idea that I came up with. So I have magpie syndrome. You know, I see shiny, shiny over there. I'm going to go, oh, look at the lovely shiny. And then I'll see another shiny down here. And I'll forget all about the one that was over there. So that is definitely my weakness.
What about your greatest strength?
I think my greatest strength is I am able to connect to people at a deep level. I make people cry. Now, I don't see that as something to be happy about, but I see that to be something that makes me, I've connected to a part of them that they've been suppressing or holding on to. And vulnerability, being able to be open and honest and share when life is tough for me. I'm quite happy to share with other people so that they feel that it's okay.
What would you say the one thing that's really impacted your business?
Gosh, the one thing that's impacted my business, my energy. Yeah. My determination, my true grit to keep going, because it can be a long road to keep going when the chips are down. So and then we need to not be afraid to ask for help.
True, yeah, that's really good.
You know, to ask for others, their opinions, go to coaches. I've always had a coach. I've always had a mentor. It's vital that you have other people that can help steer you and see things that you can't see. And
the last question is, what do you hold to be true that most people disagree with?
Say it as it is. And I think you would agree with me on that one. And it comes back again to the vulnerability. There's a lot of people out there who on the surface look like they're being really successful. And because of social media and because of imagery, etc., people can perceive another person to be above them in stature, in success. Nobody's above anybody. We're all on a level playing field. And we perceive others to be more successful than us. I try not to do that as much as possible.
Yeah.
I try to share when things are down, how to be down, and it's okay, it's down. So vulnerability is something that a lot of people are scared to be in business, to be scared to be vulnerable, just to be scared to show the bad side, the rough side, this is me at 7 o'clock in the morning without any makeup on sort of thing.
Yeah.
It's about sharing that openly and honestly, and a lot of people prefer to keep the veil so that they look professional. And I would say we're all human beings, and actually what we do connect to is someone who's real.
Absolutely. Now, you do have your workshops in Birmingham, don't you? If you can just let us know briefly how we can find you and how we can connect with you and to attend your workshops.
Great. Yes. My workshop I've got coming up in August is August the 7th. It's a Sunday. It's a whole day. It's 11 till 4, and it's called Bringing Your Happy Back. And during that workshop, we do lots of playing, some deeper inner work as well, and we have plenty of joy shots throughout the day. Lots of these, okay? They don't have alcohol in them. They are joy shots.
Okay.
Lots of different things. So that's the 7th of August, but I run those approximately every 6 weeks.
Okay.
So they continue to run. And then I also run Happy Mums Club. So if you've got any people out there, actually anywhere in the UK, you are interested in the Happy Mums concept, I am training people up to become Happy Mums Club leaders.
Oh, right.
So the way you can find all of that out is by going to my website, which is all the W's, jules-mitchell.com.
Brilliant. I will put all the links below the video.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jules, for sharing with us exactly how to maintain our happiness. And, you know, thank you. So if you've enjoyed this video, please be sure to give us a thumbs up. And give us a thumbs up for those glasses especially, okay? Give us a thumbs up and also subscribe to this channel. Be sure to connect with Jules online. I'm going to put all of her links below. And also write a comment below. Write a comment and share with us your takeaways and, you know, how you can start to implement this self-love and self-care that we've been talking about today in your life, okay? So I'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye.
Bye.